And our political insiders join us today, and we've been talking a lot today about Governor Rendell and the announcement of the 2010-2011 budget. I want to welcome our political insiders to talk about that. Charlie Gerow, Tony May, as always, thank you gentlemen for being here.
Always good to be here.
Well, Governor Rendell, he started off his speech today and he said, quote, "Ladies and gentlemen, a fiscal tsunami is coming right smack at us." And then went on to propose some interesting tax ideas. Charlie, if you want to kick us off and tell us your thoughts on those.
Well, there's always something to be guaranteed in a Rendell budget address, and that is a little more taxation and a lot more spending. The thing that is really curious to me, Tanya, is how he plans on doubling down on spending in a time when the economy's in real trouble. This isn't good economics, it isn't good politics, and it remains to be seen whether they can pass this budget on time this year.
I think Charlie's missed a key point. The spending, or the new taxes, the tax changes, the tax reform in both business taxes and in lowering the sales tax, but applying it to some things like makeup and hair products and a lot of other little routine things. Consumer taxes would be put into the proverbial lockbox for the next governor to spend when the tsunami is on the next governor. This was sort of a parting gift, so to speak, for whoever takes his place, because it's not supposed to be spent until 2012, and the legislature has a control on that. They can tell this governor for the rest of the year, you can't touch that money.
The problem, though, Tanya, with what Tony just told you is that among those 74 little taxes on consumer things are taxes on major items like legal services and accounting, which are going to cripple small businesses, the generator of jobs in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania needs jobs. It needs thriving small businesses.
And that's a big concern in this virtual lockbox, Tony. Is that conceivable? I mean, can that really help out in 2012 when right now we're actually, you know, really working to, as Charlie said, create the jobs?
Well, this year's budget gap will be filled by the federal government or not at all. I mean, we've got a situation where he's expecting about $1.1 billion in funds that the state, or the Congress has already approved, but it's now needs to be approved by the Senate. There is a question of whether it can get here, knowing the gridlock we have in Washington. But if things work out well in Washington, and Charlie's party can help with this, we won't need to raise taxes in Pennsylvania this year.
Now, it took 101 days for the budget to get passed. Does Governor Rendell's words have meaning, you know, when we're speaking of budgets and he's the one proposing this? I mean, how are people taking that this go around?
You know, this administration has never passed a budget on time, so you've got to wonder whether or not they'll be able to this time around.
Okay, we want to move on tonight from Governor Rendell and the budget announcement to the passing of Congressman Murth. That we mentioned this yesterday, complications with gallbladder surgery. Now the focus is filling his seat. How do you think that's going to go?
Total of 78.
Tony.
I think that this is a district that has changed a great deal in the 38 years that Jack Murth has been there. It used to be a very Democratic seat. It used to be a very compact seat. It now extends from Johnstown all the way to the Ohio and West Virginia line, and it's trending more and more Republican in voter behavior. It's going to be, I think, a 1.5-term congressman, because the seat may also go out of existence in reapportionment when Pennsylvania loses the seat.
So, Charlie, is it fair to say it's really anyone's game?
It's going to be a very competitive seat, Tanya. What's fascinating is that this time around, in 2010, there are going to be 8, 9, or 10 competitive congressional elections in Pennsylvania. That's unheard of. But with Congressman Murth's passing, it truly is the passing of a generation, a Pennsylvania icon. The Joe McDades and Bud Schusters and, sadly, Jack Murth's are all gone from Congress and some gone from this world. It's a passing.
He was a giant more than just stature, more than just 6'5".
He certainly will be missed.
Tony and I would certainly agree.
And you agree. All right. Gentlemen, thank you as always for being here, joining us today. And don't forget, you can catch our political insiders every Tuesday right here on CBS 21 News at 5:30.